Mayor, you were elected in a campaign to clean up the city. When are you going to start?
Well, Mike, I believe I already have.
Like the so-called Batman, we're hearing that he's doing some good, that criminals are running scared, but I say no.
Nah, man. I don't like it tonight. What are you, superstitious? You got more chance of winning the Powerball than running into him.
That's simply just not true. I'm told that our men in the major crimes unit are close to
It
an
works.
arrest.
The mayor says you're closing in on the Batman.
The investigation is ongoing.
The process of cleaning up the streets is a long one. I pledged in my campaign to have...
Ever intending to see your wife again, Lieutenant?
I thought you had to go look after your mother, Detective.
Checked you back into the hospital.
I'm sorry.
So he hasn't shown up?
He often doesn't. But I like reminding everybody that he's out there.
Why wouldn't he come?
Hopefully, because he's busy.
What do you want? Not you! Drax! You'll have to go through me! Shit. Dad, go! Save yourself! Dad, go!
Shalom. All praises, glory, honor, and fear. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Rakah Kadash. And the true salutations and shalom to the house of David. Not of seeds of many, not many men. Not of many, but of seeds of one. Those are actually one with Yahweh Shai and in the spirit, which is come to find out not many really are as they say to be, as they claim to be. And the righteous lineage, the chosen line, which it all goes, see, the inheritance goes to it's to be given to the firstborn son. That's how the inheritance gets passed down. And the Lord talks about the poor, the meek, the righteous, the humble. For those who was destined for shall inherit the world, shall inherit the earth. So Lord deals with men. The Lord's tabernacle is with men, right? Is with men. And the Lord said he'll dwell with them. Now, like I said, from the beginning of time, from Adam, Adam had Abel and Cain. And the Lord had respect for Abel's sacrifice, but for Cain, he didn't have any respect for it because there wasn't no. He didn't really give up anything, and there wasn't any life, there wasn't any blood that was shed, because no sins can be forgiven unless the shedding of blood, right? But there's always been a all-out assault and on the true chosen men, and that's why after Abel was murdered by his brother Cain, the Lord raised up a son for Adam, so that inheritance, that agreeance with the Lord and His ways would be passed on through Seth, I believe. But nonetheless, just like in that Batman scenes, you had the signals. So, in the movie Batman, he was rich carnally. He had mansion and all of Caesar's money. But I'm showing, look at that through the spirit, though. We're rich in the spirit. The Lord said He has chosen the poor of this world rich in faith. So it's like we're getting that call, we're getting that sign in the heaven, we're getting that sign in the spirit, and we have to pick it up. It's our duty to pick up that call and save the day. So just like in that scene, those couple scenes, you had a lot of detectives, like they were trying to figure out who was Batman, because some were saying that he was good, he was saving people and helping people, but another set of people were saying that he was evil and he needed to be stopped and he needed to be thrown in jail. That's the same type of vibe that the real men of the Lord get. Yahushai. Some said that he was a good man, and some said that he was a deceiver. So same thing with us. Now, when Batman answered that call, right? He got up off his seat. He was in meditation. He was alone. He was in silence. He got up off that seat, and he got alerted. He got alerted, and he had to go move quick, because the city was in upheaval. It was confusion. It was chaotic. There was no law. There was no law and order. So you had people, like you saw in that scene. It was just chaotic. There was confusion, and that's how guys handle this word. They handle this word with confusion. They'll tell you certain truths, but they'll mix it with lies, you see? And it gets it's just very confusing. But our power is not the author of confusion. And Yahushua is the one that's finishing our faith. So these are like the last few jobs that we have to do, because we're bringing that correction and we're bringing that order back. Zephaniah 3:16. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not, and to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. So guys, their hands are very slack. And how you are in your personal life definitely reflects how you are in this ministry. So, for instance, like we're talking about the character Batman, right? Well, was his life just out of order and just chaotic and confusing, and he didn't have really a handle on his own personal life? No. He had his own business he ran, He had things he had to do, you see? So the whole thing about the chosen is that they're going to be zealous of good works, and they're going to be putting that work in, and they're going to be doing it with a strength. They're going to be putting a good effort in. Because whenever you do something, whatever it may be, you want to do a good job at it. Why half-ass it? If you half-ass shit, then it's going to reflect into how you handle the Lord's word. You're going to only be partial. You're only going to go halfway. And that's one of my pet peeves, when people, they'll say they'll do something and then they don't go all the way. They don't like finish it, but they leave certain things like undone. You have to complete it so that you can enter into that rest, so you can like relax and have downtime. Psalms 140 and verse 11. Check this out. So I wanna talk about the Immaculate Conception, check this out. A womb can't conceive an infant, and a womb can't conceive a fetus unless the seed of the sperm, the semen of a man, enters into a woman's vagina, into her womb. Now, it just shows you how carnal and how childish our people are. when this is like biology 101. When see, a lot of you guys, man, I guess you haven't been taught of the birds and the bees. So basically, the seed, the sperm, right? Millions, I don't know, maybe billions, but a whole lot of sperm seeds enter into the woman, right? Now, only one of those seeds make it into womb, and only one of the seeds is needed to start this electric creation. Now, all the other seeds, once that one seed gets in, guess what? No other seed is getting in. All the other seeds pass away. They're all done. So that's spiritual in itself too, because the Lord talked about that. Not of seeds of many, but of one, which is Yahushua. So you have to be conformed to Yahushua. He must increase, you must decrease, so you can enter in and you can be born again in the spirit. Don't get it twisted. Galatians 3 and verse 16. And now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not into seeds as of many, but as of one. You see, so the many false prophets are out there. They don't have it. They're not able to get in. It says, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Yahushua. Psalms 140 and 11 says, let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. So you got a lot of guys that are evil speakers. And then you got guys like they'll do, but they're not even saying anything in their videos. They won't even speak up and use their own voice. So the Lord talked about in Romans, right, that confession is made unto salvation. So if you're not confessing with your mouth and if you're not speaking up and if you're not crying out yourself, you're not going to be saved. You're not going to be delivered, because a lot of you guys are ashamed of the Lord. You're hiding you think it's a way of hiding yourself. The Lord talked about you have to be a light unto the Gentiles. Those that have confused faces. You know, not just necessarily they may look like a different nation, but they have a confused face because all this chaos and confusion out here, all these many false prophets and all this half-truths and all, you know what I'm saying? There's confusion faces, so you have to set their face straight. Tell them to look to the Lord. Keep the eyes single. It says, let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence. So the Lord, he's maintaining the cause of us that are being afflicted, because we're being afflicted, because many afflictions are the righteous, but the Lord delivers them from everything. And we're being afflicted because we believe in the true living power and we believe on what the scriptures are really explaining. But these things are plain to the righteous and the godly, but they're stumbling blocks to the wicked. So the wicked, what they do is they call good evil and evil good. And this shows you that we have no respect to persons over here. So this is where righteous judgment is being pronounced. Because we don't care if you've been commenting on our videos and acting like you're with us and rooting us on. If you say something that's incorrect and that goes against the gospel, guess what? We're going to defend the gospel against whatever perversion you're trying to put out there. And the Immaculate Conception, right? Mary didn't have intercourse with her husband Joseph to conceive Yahushua, right? And his other siblings. Yahushua had siblings. That's heresies. That's a doctrine and a dogma of the Roman Catholic Church. You see? And that's another form of you denying the Lord. Matthew chapter 1 goes into the lineage of Yahushua and how he came to the earth. The forefathers, the God of our forefathers. So when you read Matthew, matter of fact, let me get Matthew. So what we're doing is we're setting the record straight. So this true new song can really be played correctly, can really come out the right way. Guys will do 2-minute videos and just put that shit out there. Oh yeah, this is yeah, you know, it's like, nah. It's crazy, man. But anyways, Matthew chapter 1 and verse So I just want to get the part where it says how he's the how he is the son of Adam, which is the son of God. That's why certain titles of the Lord was the son of man, right? The son of Joseph. He was also had a title of the son of David, and also the son of God. Why do you think the Lord said he is the Alpha and the Omega? Because, and then guys want to talk about the regeneration, but they don't want to talk about Yahushua's generations. You know? Slakia. So this is Matthew 1 and yeah, see, and that's the thing too. It is good to go over these things because, you know, sometimes we have to remind ourselves and everybody else of the truth, because we're striving for the truth unto death. So like I said, the truth has always been it has always been and is still being persecuted and trying to be destroyed. Son of Adam. All right, the book of the generation of Yahushua, the son of David, who was the son of David? It was Solomon, the son of Abraham, which is Isaac. Now, how did Abraham have Isaac? He had his wife he had sex with. How did David have Solomon? He had sex. He had intercourse with Bathsheba, and he had who? Solomon. Okay? Now, I really want to get this scripture here. Let me get it here, which is this. Oh, God. All right, John 11:27. She saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the anointed, the Son of God, which should come into the world. So when you go to John 1, it goes into how the Word was made flesh. Now let's read this. John 1 and verse 12. So let's read this as, all right, 10. Because just like, you know, they didn't really know, only a few really knew who Batman really was behind that mask. You see? Same thing now. And he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. So, guys, it's coming to find out, guys, we don't know who the Lord is. That's why they're not defending him. And who he came from. He came from the Heavenly Father. He came from the Most High. So, saying how I said that earlier, the chosen lineage, the chosen line has always been attacked by the wicked and the devils, but they're trying to cut it off. They're trying to stop it. They're trying to cut it off. They want Israel to cease from being a nation. And the nation consists of men, the leaders. The Lord's all about patriarchy. It says he came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And like the heavy point a brother made earlier is that an Israelite that doesn't even know he's an Israelite. You had I forget the exact father's name. I think it was one of the apostles, one of the disciples' fathers, but he was a Grecian. He was a full-blown Greek. You know, he was like, oh, I'm a Greek. He wasn't claiming his heritage that he was an Israelite, but his son was an Israelite. He confessed that he was an Israelite. He was following Yahushua. So it's not of the blood of the will of the flesh or the will of man, but of God, because just like Hosea, Hosea, the Lord told Hosea, go and take a whore for a wife. You see what I'm saying? So it's always a different situation in the scenario of how the chosen are brought into the world. But it's always done by marriage, which marriage is sex. A man and woman coming together and becoming one flesh and having offspring. So what guys do, they call that evil because they're evil. That's righteous. That's God. That's beautiful. Says, and the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So the word was made flesh. Yahushai took on the flesh, and he nailed the flesh to the cross. He destroyed sin that was in the flesh. You see? Now, when you go to Wismus Solomon, it says it plain, man, even better. Now, remember Solomon, it was said about Solomon that he had the most wisdom ever. But a greater than Solomon is here, which is Yahushai. But still, this holds weight. Wismus Solomon 7 says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth, Adam. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man. See, of the seed of man. And the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. So, like people, they'll worship certain celebrities, and they'll worship the ground that they walk on. Like, that's why you have to be in a spirit of Leonidas. Like, it's like you bleed just like everybody else bleeds. We all came to this earth the same way, and we're all leaving it the same way, one way or the other. Some of us shall not taste of death, but that's the point. I was nursed and swaddled in clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king, and what is Yahushua? He is the King of Kings, that had any other beginning of birth. Let me read that again. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out. There it is right there. Habakkuk 1 and verse 5. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, verse 4. It says, therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth, for the wicked doth compass about the righteous. So the wicked, they're everywhere, and they're surrounding the righteous. And then what are they trying to do? They're trying to stop the righteous. They're just trying to stop this lineage. You know, because we're carrying in a lineage. We're like Star Wars. They said, oh, in you lives 1,000 generations. For real. For real. Therefore, wrong judgment proceeded. So that's a wrong discernment that Yahushai simply was born of just a woman. That's not how the Lord works. Behold, ye among the heathen, and they even show you that in like demonic, scary movies, like this woman all of a sudden like she'll feel something in her belly and like, oh my gosh, I have a child, but like she never had sex or whatever, and then like something like a monster comes out of her. So it shows you that it's like, you know, it's just not right. It says, behold, yea, among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told you. So our people really don't believe in the lineage of the Lord, you know. And this is what the angels and the Lord were always in control of. They was always in control of the seeds of the righteous and of the covenant, always going where they need to go, you know, putting two people together to bring about the next generation. You know what I'm saying? That now let me read this. Psalms 89 and verse 1. Now, the title of this chapter is The Lord's Covenant with David and Israel's Afflictions. It says, I will sing of the mercies of the Lord forever with my mouth. See, so guys ain't saying anything with them. Guys have their mouths shut. It says, within my mouth will I make known thy faithfulness to all generations. Right? The faithfulness to all generations. And like the Lord said, he said in Exodus that he visits the father's sins upon the third and fourth generation. So you come back in like the third, fourth generation, you know, your great grandfather, you know, but there's no remembrance of former things, you know. And you receive judgment, whether for good or for worse. In Solomon's case, right, what did the Lord say? He's gonna chasten him with the rod of men. And he didn't do that when he was Solomon, you know. He took that on when he was Yahushai. You know. That's why Yahushai said, call no man good but the Father. But Yahushai was that unblemished lamb. He had no sin in that life. So his sacrifice was pure and it was perfect, man. And by his stripes we're healed. It says, for I have said, mercy shall be built up forever. Thy faithfulness shall be established in thy very heavens. I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant. Thy seed will I establish forever. You see, so the wicked, they don't want this seed to be established because they're not a part of it. They're not one with this seed. This seed, right, which is the word, has not been planted in them. So they're not growing. They're not growing. They're not bearing fruit. They're falling off like a leaf. They're falling off like a leaf because the seasons is changing. The times are changing. And they're not rooted and grounded in the Lord. And just like John the Baptist said, now the axe is laid to every tree. If any man doesn't have the fruit, it's going to be hewn down. And that's what's happening. It says, and build up thy throne to all generations, Salah. And the heavens shall praise thy wonders, O Lord, thy faithfulness also in the congregation of the saints. You see, so this is the Lord's wonder, you know. Like it was a miracle in itself that that lineage was kept safe, you know, unadulterated, like not perverted, not cut off, you know. Yep, now here it is right here. Now here it is right here. I could read that too. All right, so here it is. Here's the one I really wanted. Luke 3:38, right? So check this out. Now I'm going to start verse 20. Oh, man. 23. And Yahushua himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli. Now jump down to verse 38. It says, which was the son of Enos, which is the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of power. So even though it was so long ago, right? The garden and Adam and Eve, this was his great grandfather. He's the Alpha and the Omega. This is why the Lord said, through one man sin came. Through one man sin entered in, and through one man sin was destroyed. I believe it's like Galatians or Ephesians. Romans 5:12 says, wherefore as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. Verse 13. For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned, after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is a figure of him that was to come. You see? Who is the figure of him that was to come, the Omega. It's heavy, man. Titus 3 and verse 8. This is a faithful saying. And it's heavy too, because the whole word faith and being faithful, it means that you're going to stay with someone. So the Lord, he stuck with his chosen from the beginning. You know, that's why the Lord said, give me them whom I have ordained from the beginning. So this really shows you the blessedness of having the sure mercies of David, which ties in with the new covenant, the everlasting covenant. And this is what Yahushua said. Look at this, Matthew 10 and 6. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. And a male has a use just like a female does in marriage. You know, a man and woman don't just get married just to, you know, not have sex or not become one or not procreate. That's the whole duty of marriage. And that's husbandry, which the Lord loves. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. When he was talking with Noah. John 16:64, but there are some of you that believe not, for Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believe not, and who should betray him. And when you betray someone, you basically go against them. And that's what guys are doing. They're going against Yahushua, the Son of Man, the Son of God. Check this out, John 15:27. And ye also shall bear witness, because ye have been with me from the beginning. Heavy. So this is the spirit of truth. Verse 25. But this cometh to pass that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law. They hated me without a cause. But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me. So Lord, he's talking to the ones that has been with him since the beginning. And the Lord, he took on the form of a son of Abraham. You see? Symbolic of Isaac, that whole similitude of Abraham and Isaac on the mount when the Lord told Abraham to sacrifice his son was a similitude of Yahushua, the son of God, the son of Abraham, the son of David. Sirach 7:15. Hate not laborious work. So this is a very laborious work that we're doing. And we don't hate it, we love it. But what we do hate is the evil. There's a lot of evil workers and evil things being said and happening. So we're having to be like that scene. We have to come in and set things straight. Because a lot of guys are like a crooked serpent, you know? And they're bringing a lot of chaos and confusion in these last days. And laborious goes into especially of a task, process, or journey requiring considerable effort and time. You see that? So guys hate this laborious work because they're not redeeming the time and getting it back to the Lord. They're actually wasting their time with this world and heresies and, It says hate not laborious work. That's why guys ain't doing the work. They're doing it deceitfully. Neither husbandry. Now, what's husbandry? Husbandry is when you lay seeds. Farm management. And what's farm management going to? It means you're putting every animal and everything in its rightful place. You're not going to put the pigs with the fucking chicken. You're not gonna put the goats with the sheep. So there's divisions happening right now, which is heavy. Husbandry is the care, cultivation, and breeding of crops. So husbandry goes into planting seeds. It says, which the Most High hath ordained. Now let's get the word for ordained. Confer holy orders, predetermined, right? And that's why the angel came to Joseph. That's why the angel came to Mary and said, listen, you're going to have a son. Listen, this is what's going to happen. You're going to call his name this. The same thing happened with the men of the Lord. Look at Samson. Before he was born, the angel of the Lord came to his parents and let them know what was in her womb, what was going to come of that child. It was a special child. Just like Noah, he was a special child. Moses, he was what they call it? Say Moses. He was a fair child. They were different. Something about them. You see, because they were born of the will of God, not the will of men. It was all destiny. Titus 3 and verse 8 says, "This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men." But avoid foolish questions. So the foolish virgins, they're going to tell you that Mary had Yahushai and Joseph just doesn't matter. And genealogies, you see, genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. So at the end of the day, what if some do not believe? Should I make the faith of God vain? God forbid. Let the Most High be true and every man be a liar. So men are lying on the scriptures. They're lying on the Lord, and we're defending the Lord. We're setting our face against these certain things that are being said. Sirach 22 and 25, "I will not be ashamed to defend a friend, neither will I hide myself from him." So we're not hiding ourselves from Yahushua. Like a lot of you guys, you're like literally hiding yourself from Yahushua. You don't even speak on your videos. No one knows what you look like. A lot of you guys may be fucking agents. And now that we're at the end, you can't hide yourself anymore. It says, "I will not be ashamed to defend a friend." So we're not ashamed to defend Yahushua, our King. Titus 3 and 14, "And let ours also learn to maintain good works for necessary uses, that they be not unfruitful." You see that? So guys are becoming unfruitful because they're not abiding and remaining and staying in the vine, Yahushua. And you can't do anything unless you're in Yahushua, if you're in that seed. Not of seeds of many, but seeds of one. Now I want to get this word for maintain. The word maintain is to profess honest occupations. And then you'll ask guys, like, what do they do for work or what do they do for a living? They won't even give you an honest answer, you know. And you have to be careful of weak men these last days, because weak men are going to crack, and weak men are going to sell out and do wickedness just to get a bag, because they can't stand the rain, they can't stand the pressure. So they're breaking the brotherly covenant, the everlasting covenant that the Lord made with David and his seed. The Lord said if he goes off, he's gonna. Here it is, 2 Samuel 7:14. 13, "He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish a throne of his kingdom forever." And the Lord told David that he wasn't going to be able to build this because he had so much blood in his hands. The Lord's a perfectionist, you know. So he didn't want David to make it, but he said Solomon would, his son Solomon would. And that was symbolic of Yahushua. Yahushua didn't come to destroy men. He came to save men. And as this modern spiritual arc is being completed, then that flood, then that wrath, the fire and death is going to come. Then it says, "He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul," which what he really took from Saul was the covenant and that everlasting like priesthood and like kingdom, man, the kingdom. Because when you're a king and you have a son, what do? When you're about to leave the earth, you give everything that you have to your son and you tell him to govern it and rule it. It says, "Whom I put away before thee. And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever." According to all these words, according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak to David. You see that? That's heavy, man. And that still holds weight, and that still stands today. See, guys are in the spirit where they want Yahushua to be crucified afresh. Like if Lord was come again, they'd want to. They'd have to see him die. You know. Oh, I don't believe it. Psalms 112:1. Praise ye the Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed. Let me read it again. His seed, which is sperm, semen. His seed shall be mighty upon earth. The generation of the upright shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house, which this is going into the spirit and the truth, which is true riches, true wealth. And his righteousness endureth forever. Verse 6, surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings, right, of evil news. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. And how is our heart fixed? Because we have a new heart. We have a new mind. The mind of Yahushua. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemies. So we're going to see our enemies without them being destroyed. Philippians 1:16. The one preach Yahushua of contention, not sincerely, supposed to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. And this is good news, that the Lord never forsook, he never left the chosen. Not what then, while we're standing every way, whether in pretense, right, whether fake or in truth, whether people being fake or in truth, being real, Yahushua is preached, and I therein do rejoice, yet and will rejoice. And that's what we're doing. And I'm just close out with a brother's precept, Romans 1:3, I believe. But it literally just shows you, man. Romans 1:1, Paul, a servant of Yahushua Mashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of God, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Holy Scriptures, concerning his son Yahushua Mashiach, our Lord, which was made, means created, birthed, of the seed of David, according to the flesh. My goodness. So you wonder why they called Yahushua the son of David. Like, there'd be people that were blind, or they was hurting, they was suffering, and they'd say, son of David, help us. Why'd they say that? Why? Luke 18:38, and he cried, saying, Yahushua, thou son of David, have mercy on me. You see that? The King of Kings, man. And it talks about that he was from the tribe of Judah. Now, who was Judah? Judah wasn't man. He was a son of Jacob. So I'm going to leave it at that. All praises, glory, honor, and faith. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Baba Ball, and Shalom.